Hola, me llamo Alcalde Oliver Gilbert, and we've gone virtual. Now, while you're staying at home, I wanted to make sure the activities you enjoyed could be brought to you online. Join me with Spanish lessons with Dr. Jackson. Let's learn Spanish together.
Hola y bienvenidos a la clase de español. Hoy es martes, el 30 de junio de 2020. Hi, and welcome to Spanish class. I'm Dr. Jackson, and today we will be working on the present progressive, el presente progresivo. Okay, let's get right into it. The present progressive describes an action that is in process at the moment we are talking. So in Spanish, it would be ahora mismo, right now. Okay. In English, you can say, I am working right now, or you can say, I am working tomorrow. But you cannot do that in Spanish. The progressive in Spanish is only used to describe an action that is in process at the moment we are talking. Okay. And in Spanish, we can use this by expressing the IR, the ir, plus the a, plus the infinitive to refer to the near future or to tomorrow. Okay. So you would say, estoy trabajando ahora mismo. So if you're working right now, estoy trabajando ahora mismo. Okay. If you're working tomorrow, you would say, voy a trabajar mañana. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. So, en inglés o en español? In English or in Spanish? In English, you would never say he walking or she walking. You would always add is. He is walking or he's walking. She's working or she is working. We do the same in Spanish. Never leave out the verb estar. Okay, and then there are different forms of that verb. Okay, and we're going to go through that. So remember, in Spanish, never leave out the verb estar, to be. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Estar y el participio. The verb to be and the participle. Okay, so if you're talking about yourself, yo estoy. You're talking about someone else. Tú estás. He, she, él, ella, ustedes está. Us, nosotros estamos. They, ellos, ellas, y ustedes están. Okay? So you would say estoy, estás, está for the more formal, estamos, or están. And then you would add the ing, ando or yendo. Okay? So ando and iendo is the ing. Okay? So that would mean that it's happening right now at this moment. Okay? So let's move on to the next slide. So the present participle plus the ing, participio presente. Okay? So you have the infinitive. Hablar, to talk. Comer, to eat. Vivir, to live. Estudiar, to study. Pensar, to think. Jugar, to play. And encender, to turn on. Okay, let's go over that again. Hablar, hablar, comer, comer, vivir, vivir, estudiar, estudiar, pensar, pensar, jugar, jugar. Remember the J makes an H sound. Encender, encender. Okay, so now adding the participle for hablar, okay, to talk. If you're talking now, you would say hablando. Okay, you add the ing, ando, hablando. hablando. For eating, comiendo. Comiendo. Living, viviendo. Viviendo. Studying, estudiando. Estudiando. Thinking, pensando. Pensando. Playing, jugando. Jugando. Turning on, encendiendo. Encendiendo. Okay, let's review all of that together. Okay, so hablar becomes hablando. Comer becomes comiendo. Vivir becomes viviendo. Estudiar becomes estudiando. Pensar becomes pensando. Jugar becomes jugando. And encender becomes encendiendo. All right, let's move on to the following slides for some examples. Por ejemplo, for example. Okay, so if you want to say right now, Juan, Andres, Alicia, Pedro, and I are doing something. Okay, so you have to add estar plus the present participle. Okay, so let's look at number one. It says, Juan está escribiendo la carta. Juan está escribiendo la carta. Juan is writing a letter. Again, Juan está escribiendo la carta. Okay, moving on to number two. Andrés y Alicia están comiendo un burrito. Andrés y Alicia están comiendo un burrito. Andrés and Alicia are eating a burrito. Okay. Number three. Pedro y yo estamos jugando a las cartas. Pedro y yo estamos jugando a las cartas. Pedro and I are playing cards. Again, Pedro y yo estamos jugando a las cartas. Okay, so let's review those sentences one more time. Number one, Juan está escribiendo la carta. Juan está escribiendo la carta. Number two, Andrés y Alicia están comiendo un burrito. Andrés y Alicia están comiendo un burrito. And number three, Pedro y yo estamos jugando a las cartas. Pedro y yo estamos jugando a las cartas. All right, good. Let's move on to the next slide for more examples. Más ejemplos. Okay, so like I said before, it is always necessary to use the verb estar and the participle of the main action verb. Okay, so number one. So if you want to say Amanda and her baby are sleeping. Amanda y su bebé están durmiendo. Amanda y su bebé están durmiendo. Number two, Amelia is washing dishes. Amelia está lavando los platos. Amalia está lavando los platos. Amalia está lavando los platos. Number 3, you are thinking too much about the exam. Tú estás pensando mucho en este examen. Tú estás pensando mucho en este examen. One more time. Tú estás pensando mucho en este examen. Okay. Number 4. Mis amigos están llamando por teléfono. My friends are calling on the phone. Mis amigos están llamando por teléfono. Remember, the double L makes a Y sound, okay? So, llamando, calling. Mis amigos están llamando por teléfono. And number 5, ¿quién está hablando en clase? Who is talking in the class? ¿Quién está hablando en la clase? Okay, so if you notice the word hablando, remember H is silent in Spanish. Okay, so you would not say hablando, you would say hablando. ¿Quién está hablando en clase? All right, good. Let's move on to the next slide to a few more examples. Más ejemplos. Number 1. ¿Qué estás haciendo tú? What are you doing? ¿Qué estás haciendo tú? Or you can just say, ¿qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué estás haciendo tú? Number 2. ¿Dónde está comiendo Luis? Where is Luis eating? ¿Dónde está comiendo Luis? ¿Dónde está comiendo Luis? Number 3. Ellas están viviendo en Madrid. They are living in Madrid. And if you notice it's ellas, it means females. And you're saying they, ellos can mean males and females together or just simply males. But when you see ellas, it's simply females. Ellas están viviendo en Madrid. Ellas están viviendo en Madrid. Number 4. Yo estoy practicando deportes ahora. Yo estoy practicando deportes ahora. I am practicing sports now. Yo estoy practicando deportes ahora. Number 5. Nosotros estamos escribiendo cartas. We are writing letters. Nosotros estamos escribiendo cartas. Nosotros estamos escribiendo cartas. And number 6. ¿Quién está jugando con la pelota? Who is playing with the ball? ¿Quién está jugando con la pelota? ¿Quién está jugando con la pelota? Okay, let's review these sentences one more time before we move on. Okay, number 1, ¿qué estás haciendo tú? Number 2, ¿dónde está comiendo Luis? Number 3, ellas están viviendo en Madrid. Number 4, Yo estoy practicando deportes ahora. Number 5. Nosotros estamos escribiendo cartas. And number 6. ¿Quién está jugando con la pelota? All right, good. Let's move on to the final slide. And these are the irregular verbs. Verbos irregulares. Verbos irregulares. All right, so let's look at number 1. Pedir, to ask. Pedir. Pedir. Number 2, decir, to say. Decir. Number 3, dormir, to sleep. Dormir. Dormir. Number 4, servir, to serve. Servir. Servir. Number 5, leer, to read. Leer. Leer. Number 6, traer, to bring. Traer. Okay, let's review those again. Number 1, pedir. Number 2, decir. Number 3, dormir. Number 4, servir. Number 5, leer. And number 6, traer. Okay, so now let's look at the present participle of these words. Since they're irregular, they change, the spelling is going to change. So let's look at the first one. So to ask, pedir, becomes pidiendo, asking. Pidiendo. Pidiendo. Number 2, decir becomes diciendo. 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 Number 3, dormir becomes durmiendo. 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 Sleeping. Number 4, servir becomes sirviendo. Serving. Sirviendo. Sirviendo. Number 5, leer becomes leyendo, reading. Leyendo. Leyendo. Number 6, traer becomes trayendo. Trayendo. Okay, let's review the present participle one more time. So the first one, asking, pidiendo. Saying, diciendo. Sleeping, durmiendo. Serving, sirviendo. Reading, leyendo. And bringing, trayendo. Okay, so that is it for our lesson on the present progressive. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. Adios. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Join us every Monday and Wednesday on Facebook Live for Spanish with Dr. Jackson. If you want to view the session again, visit cmgengage.com/virtual. See you next week.